So a lot of you requested in my last video that I show my university read, so that's what I'm going to do today. These are just from semester 1. I have a year-long module and 2 semesterly modules. These are all the books that I'm doing for semester 1, which is World War Literature and The Age of Chivalry and Romance, which is basically King Arthur, Lancelot, that kind of thing. The first one we have to read, that I'm currently reading now actually, is Le Morte d'Arthur by Sir Thomas Malory. I'm up to about page 100. It's taken me about 2 weeks to read about that much. So it's going to take some reading, but I am enjoying it so far. It's really good. So far I've read The Death of King Uther, The Birth of King Arthur, a little bit about the wedding and stuff like that. If that is the kind of thing that interests you, then this is definitely worth a read. And then the second medieval type thing we have to read is Sir Gawain, oh god, I can't speak. Sir Gawain or something, and The Great Knight, The Green Knight. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, I can't speak, okay? Sir Gawain, why can't I say Gawain? The next book is Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. This is another book kind of set around that time period. I haven't started reading this yet, but this is really interesting. It has kind of, this on the right hand pages are in English, but on the left hand pages it's all kind of foreign. I don't know if you can see that, probably not. The rest of my books are admittedly war books, so I'm just going to get cracking because there's quite a few of them. So the first book I have to study is actually an anthology, and it is the Penguin Book of First World War poetry. This, as you would expect, is an anthology of war poetry. It goes in kind of chronological order. It kind of starts when war just breaks out. It goes through all the trenches, and then the last couple of poems are just kind of about peace. Wilfred Owen is one of my favourite kind of war poets. I think he is so good at what he does, and there are loads of his in here. I'm really looking forward to studying it some more. We also have an anthology of short stories to read, and it's called Women, Men and the Great War. I haven't actually read this one yet. I've kind of skimmed through it, but it seems very good. There's loads of authors in here that I've heard of or I like. The next book I have is Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. It's been quite high on my TBR list for a while. I haven't just bought it, I've had this edition for quite a long time, but I've never read it, and I'm really glad that I get the opportunity to. It's very short, so I'm thinking studying it will be fairly easy. The next book I have is All Quiet on the Western Front by Enrique Maria Remarque. He's French. He's not French, he's German. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this also. I think it's going to be really interesting reading something from the perspective of a German schoolboy, as opposed to from the English point of view. I think that's just a very interesting contrast. This was obviously translated from German, so I've never read anything translated from German before. It's quite a harsh language, I always think, anyway. It'll be intriguing to see how that kind of changes the way it's written. I'm very, very excited to study this as well. I then have a couple more poetry collections. This one is the Selected Poetry of the First World War, and it's just a really short collection basically. And I also have First World War poems chosen by Andrew Motion, and yeah, again, just an anthology of poems, but I'm really looking forward to studying them. I have started reading a couple of them, and I really like reading poetry. I'm really into it at the moment. The next book I have is actually a textbook, and it is Literature, Criticism and Theory. This is a 4th edition, and it's by Andrew Bennett and Nicholas Royal. I found this to be very, very, very helpful. If you are thinking of doing a degree at university, or you are doing a degree at uni, then this may be something to look at, because I think this is a great book. I also have Beginning Theory by, what's his name? I'll go find out. I bought this one last year for my first year. It's Beginning Theory. This is the 3rd edition by Peter Barry, and while this is very, very helpful as well, it gives you all the kind of information you need on things like feminism, Marxism, but I found that this one is just, it deals with themes that aren't so obvious. It doesn't just deal with like gender issues and things. There's chapters on suspense, there's a chapter called Queer, chapter called Desire, Sexual Difference, Animals, history, war, which is very appropriate for me. These ones are just a little bit more abstract, a little bit more interesting to write about, especially in essays and things like that. It makes you sound clever when you're not. And those are all my books. I don't feel like I showed you that many because our first semester only lasts until January, which is, when you think about it, we have not much of October left. There's November, December and January, so the amount of books they give you for 3 months, they can't really be any more than that. But for now, those are all the books that I have to read. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!